Hello, hello, how are you? This is Ronnie coming to you live. And I just wanted to talk about something that was on my mind, on my heart today, and I wanted to share it with you. Um, I hear this from time to time, certain things, and I thought this would help others or maybe help you. So, what I'm going to talk about tonight is what are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? I don't care if it's personally, business wise, whatever it is in your life. That's what I want to talk about. So, give me a moment, of course, while I um, share this on my page, and then um, I'll get right to it and see. Let's see. All right. So, what I wanted to talk about again is what are you telling yourself? Uh, what are you telling yourself? So, the first question in dealing with this, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I see people from time to time, I'm in conversations with them, and they're either down or they're negative or they're just having a bad day and they just can't bring things together. It's hard for them to go, continue with what they're doing, or it's hard for them to figure out things, or they're fearful of taking the next steps in their life or in their business. And so I just wanted to talk about this briefly tonight. What are you telling yourself? So really the first question that you should ask yourself every morning, well, I'm asking you, is basically, what are you listening to when you wake up? What are you listening to? What are you putting in your brain every morning? Because really what, like I tell everyone is, first thing is work on your mindset. I don't care what you're doing. If you're not working on your mindset, it's going to be hard for you to grow. I believe that. So what are you listening to when you wake up? Wake up in the morning. Are you listening to a specific song? Are you listening to scriptures? Is there a mantra that you hear? I personally say a mantra, in my mind. Part of my mantra is I am positive, I am peace, I am joy. And, my thing is, why not start off the day with something positive? Why not start off something positive or your day, instead of waking up and being negative about things? Why do that? Why do that to yourself? And really important to do that. Start off the day like that. So another question I would like to ask, it may be, this may not be you because you might work from home and you're probably at home all day. But if you have to run errands, and even if not, you might be driving into your 9 to 5 or where you work. You may have an office outside your home. So my question is this: what are you listening to while driving in your car? Now, for me, I, for maybe a couple of years, I didn't listen to anything in my car. I decided that I was not going to listen to anything in my car. So basically, because what I would do is just scan the radio, and I really wasn't listening, but things were being fed in my brain. And so really when I started reading Power of Now and A New Earth, and watching series of different things about that, I decided that I wanted to clear my mind. I didn't want so many things behind my brain. And the perfect way to do that was driving, and not being, bringing subliminal messages that are on the radio inside my brain. Now that I have a newer car, I had to start playing some music, just to test out the speakers in the car, the system. So, but I don't listen to music very much. And so, actually I did listen to a couple of songs when I first, got the newer car, and I decided not to listen to those songs anymore, even though they're okay to listen to from time to time. But I realized what those songs were doing to me. And I'm like, I don't even want to listen to those really anymore. Not as much as I was listening to. I was listening to those songs every day. And they were constantly, the words were constantly embedded in my brain. I'm like, I don't want to waste my brain on this song. And I'm not saying it were horrible songs. I liked the songs. It was just not working for me as what I wanted to put in my brain. So, usually if I'm in the car, I usually, use the Bluetooth from my phone and listen to something that's, I probably was listening to before I got in the car that I want to finish, maybe something uplifting, something that I'm learning how to do, something of that nature. So just think about, what are you listening to in your car? Another question is just basically, what are you listening to throughout the day? So for me, when I go in the office, the very first thing that I listen to, hopefully I don't have a meeting. Sometimes I have meetings or conference calls or whatever. I listen to The Strangest Thing. Now, if you're part of the 4%, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is something that, that we listen to. That's something that we are supposed to listen to every single day. So I listen to that, every day. Once I get in the office, that's what I listen to. And the funny thing about, what are you listening to throughout the day? If you're in the office in kind of like a negative environment where a lot of times people are complaining, it can be frustrating. If you don't have your energy up, that positive energy flowing out, it can be hard to pick up that negative energy. You hear people complaining about their jobs, they complain about so many different things. And I know some people look at me strange because I'm smiling a lot. I'm happy. And then when they may talk to me about complaining about something that happened with them, I'm like, honestly, is there a solution? It's one thing to vent for a little bit, but my thing is, if you're not talking about a solution, I don't care. It's not that I don't care about your well-being. It's fine to vent or whatever, but I don't care if we're not talking about a solution. I don't want that negative energy on me. And, some people take it the wrong, like, you know what? I want to get to that point of not caring so much because I see people in certain areas, they have high blood pressure, they're worrying, they can't sleep at night. And I'm beyond that now. And I'm not saying that I am perfect, but I'm working towards that. And I think that people need to really work on, like I said, again, what are you listening to throughout the day? Like I said, if you're listening to people complain all day, you're picking up all that energy, you need to work on things outside of that environment. So either you can push your energy on them, so you're rubbing off on them, not you picking up that bad energy, so that's very, very important that you do that. Now, another question that I have for you that you need to think about is, what are you listening to before you go to sleep? What are you listening to before you go to sleep? Now, for me, I really don't have something that I'm really listening to because honestly, I usually fall asleep at the table. I may be falling asleep at the laptop, and when I jump up, I rush to go in the shower and then to go to bed. But there are a few things that I do. I mean, there's certain things I look at my goals and I say them over and over. If there's, things that you really want to do out of life. I mean, those are things that I look at, but there's not something specifically that I'm listening to. I will add something probably specific, but a lot of times I'm so tired because I fell asleep at the laptop. All I want to do is get the shower, and then hit the bed. So you have to really think about that too if you are thinking about stressful things throughout the day. If you're worrying at night, so many things can cause you to have a bad night's sleep, or just have that negative energy. So it's very important what you feed in your brain. A lot of times, I don't watch a lot of well, I do. My son watches, a few things, but I don't watch. I used to sleep with the TV on a couple of years ago, but I stopped doing that. I just I don't want to feed that into my brain. So you have to really pay attention to what you're feeding into yourself before you go to sleep, right? And so one last question that I have, really and truly, that kind of, I think it feeds into a lot of things that I've been hearing is, let's see, do you know what your why is? Do you know what your why is? Do you know what your why is? And why I say that is because if you are constantly fed negative, if you are worrying, if you are fearful of going to the next step in your life, doing things, you have to figure out what your why is. And a perfect example for me, I'm introverted, but I'm on the video. I want to help others, inspire people, but I go back to my ultimate why is my son. Of course, there's so many different things personally for me, but why do I do this? Why am I getting over my fear of being in front of the camera? What is it that is driving me? And I think that's just totally important, because once you figure out your why, then you're like, okay, I'm going to make sure that I'm not negative. I want to make sure that I'm listening to this every single day, because I have to get to the next level in my life. And if I want to figure out what my why is, I have to work on my mindset, and I have to, you have to do these things. So I wanted to share this because I thought it was very important. I was thinking about this, and I said I wanted to discuss this. So hopefully it'll help you out. I hope that that you really think about these things, because I think sometimes people get so involved in learning the skills and want to start their own business and all these different programs. And the piece that I believe is the very first thing that you need to work on is your mindset, because it's a mindset shift. You have to be ready for the ups and downs of starting your own business or coming online and getting frustrated and all these different things, that some things may not work out the way that you planned, and you don't want that to take you over. So again, I hope this was helpful to you. And if you're looking for something that will help you being a part of a group, please feel free to reach out to me. You're looking to be around positive people, positive groups, and like I mentioned before, a group that I'm a part of, there is one thing that, hey, we are supposed to listen to every single day. And so if you're interested in learning what that is, please feel free to reach out to me. Or better yet, if you're interested in learning what things, you're so confused, you don't even know what to listen to. How can you get over that? Please reach out to me, and, we can discuss that and see how, I can help you and get you on the right path. Because sometimes it's not just about the skills that it's about the mindset, and set your mindset straight. So wonderful night, wonderful morning, wonderful afternoon, and hope to come live to you soon again. All right, peace.